Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to Yorkshire Gamer's monthly Wargames update. And here we are at the end of July 2025. And a little bit of a strange one today. There aren't any finished units, but there are lots and lots of things going on at Yorkshire Gamer. So let's do the usual and get busy and looking what's been going on. So, as I said in the introduction, there's no new units or no complete new units this month, and we're going into the work in progress from last month. Other things have been going on, we'll talk about those in a minute, but here we have a 3/4 and a bit finished unit of 28mm elite miniatures French Young Guard Voltigeur, and I've already finished one of these battalions, but these are nearly done. I'll just twist them towards the camera for you, and we've got 8 figures on a 60x60 base as I always do, and the 3 of the 4 bases are complete. Slide that back there, and then, as you know, I don't spend £50 or whatever it is on a Games Workshop holder. I just stick them on old whiskey stones, or in this case an old pop bottle, and as you can see there, the base colours are done. I'm working on the straps, and there's just colours and detail to do, and there is the commander on his horse ready to go. And I know you like it, so here's a big fannion to go on the unit when it's done. And the great thing about this is it's got white edges already, so I don't have to paint them. So that is the work in progress and the done unit. I'm afraid it will definitely be done next month, but there've been lots of other things going on, so I shall go to shaky cam and we shall have a look at the project that's taken up most of my time this month. So apologies, the camera is handheld, and this is shock horror, part of my 6mm ACW collection. These are the Union troops, and I put a display game on at the Joy of Six in a couple of weeks ago, and we'll talk about that in the From the Front Line. But part of that project involved me resetting the bases on these. I'm not going to call it rebasing because it wasn't really. So originally, let's move up here, the figures were based, as you can see here, on these strips of, depending on the battalion size, 3, 4, 5 or 6 figures on these little tiny bases. And these, as you can see by the warping, were old artist card. And what I'm doing is I am doubling them up like that, obviously both pointing in the same direction, to make a battalion. So a battalion is a command stand. So let's go over here. There we've got command stands, and again these are just being put on these MDF bases, like so, and 2 of the larger bases. It just effectively drops it from 5 figures to move a battalion, sorry, 5 bases to move a battalion, to 3. I'm never keen, I know it's a ting these days, that you have a unit on a base and the base never changes formations. I still like the ability to change formations. And then just inside there, I've started work on the Confederates as well, and here's all the Union cavalry and some of the artillery that I'm not going to rebase at all on those. They're perfectly good and stable, but you can see there I've got some dismounted cavalry regiments that are needing reflagged. These aren't too bad, but some of the older flags, if we come back over here, are extremely lightened through use and exposure to the light. So I have on the new battalions, as you can see, I've put some new flags on, and they look smashing. So that has taken quite a lot of my time this month. When it comes to new stuff, you're going to see some absolute madness in a minute, but this is kind of the normal stuff. So, as you saw earlier on, I am coming towards the end of the 1st Brigade of Young Guard for my Pantsenoir project, and I also need quite a lot of French line, mostly from 6th Corps, Lobau's Corps at Waterloo. So I've just decided to build the whole of the 6th Corps, which is kind of what I normally would do anyway. Just it gives me an extra few battalions compared to what was at Pantsenoir, which will help me with other games, etc. So what I needed to do, and what I normally do, is I tend to do generals last. But I've decided this time I'm going to do generals first. So I have dipped into, as you can see, Perry Miniatures, and purchased a load of their generals for general use, would you believe? And that is the Lobau figure, who will be my corps commander. And there's a couple of other corps commanders in there that I will use for other things. Heaven forbid I would decide to go and do a load more corps. Some general divisions here from FN 15. Oh, just absolute quality and lots of choice as well. I like lots of different figures in my command blocks. So we've got some infantry colonels here that are going to go on brigade bases, brigade commander bases, and then we've got some aides here. Lovely one here. I love this model. It's of somebody looking through a telescope, and it actually rests on the back of the horse. I've never known a horse stay that still, but I think the pose is absolutely amazing. And then finally in this box here, FN 53, there's a beautiful set of different officers from different regiments. We've got dragoons, grenadiers, guy from the Hussars with his foot on a drum, etc. Lovely little character figures to go on the various bases. So my plans with these are, I am going to do my usual round bases for commanders, just so that they stick out on the table, and I'm going to do an 80mm diameter base with 2 figures on for brigade, an 80mm diameter base with 3 figures on for a division, and then my corps commander is going to be on a 100mm base with 5 or 6 figures in, whatever I can get on. And then my army commander will be, I'll probably do it on a 120, and again, absolutely massive. But you know, I've seen people use like 6 foot square for their officers, but that's kind of what I bought from Perry's this month. A little bit. I've got some more elite miniatures. The next brigade of Young Guard are currently being recruited. So let's have a look at the mad thing that I did this month. Today's version of How Much is going to be slightly different and a lot bigger than normal, because I've done one of my daft things again, and somebody put up a post on Facebook, and there was a load of ships that they had from somebody who had passed away sadly, and they were going to get skipped if nobody picked them up. So I've picked them up, and this is going to last me a lifetime. So let's have a look what's in this box, shall we? There we go. There is a box of 6 American carriers, 1/700 scale, 3 destroyers, 1 heavy cruiser, and 3 battleships in 1/700 scale. So a bit of work to do there. They're all built, and my plan is to base them up as I base my stuff up, give them a little bit of a Yorkshire Gamer makeover, and they will add to the collection of stuff that I've already got. They're all in here. There is 1 British tribal class at the end, G27. We'll have to look at what that is, and but the rest are Americans, and I wasn't really planning on doing specific, but in the long term that may well come to pass. And this is kind of making me think of some participation games with a big group of carriers and a Japanese air attack, etc. But by a long shot, this isn't all of it. The second box And in here we've got another couple of carriers. That one is looks like it's a British one actually, or is it a very early American one? Yeah, early American one. And Iowa class, some smaller German, American battleships, and let's just have a quick cam look down here. We've got destroyers in there. We've got little light aircraft carriers. So there you go. That's the second box. Box 3 is, and I haven't really looked through these. I picked them up from a chap in Dumfries yesterday, and I haven't really looked through them. I just picked them up. So we've got a Japanese heavy cruiser there with the late war flat deck with planes on. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Japanese carriers, a seaplane tender. There's a destroyer in there and a couple of Japanese battleships. This is going to be mad. Box 4, British ships. I can see Nelson Rodney, Hood. That's Renown maybe. Then Rodney, Nelson, got both of them. A KGV, another KGV. Oh my God. And then we will go down in here. And there's a nice little chunk of destroyers in there as well. So I've kind of accidentally inherited all of the British fleet, all the Japanese fleet, and all of the American fleet of World War II. Box 5, Yamato, Musashi, Ice, or one of the Fuso, one of the other Japanese battleships, and then we've got another load of smaller ships. I can see armored cruisers. I can see destroyers. Oh God, this is going to need a massive sort. This is a lifetime project, and bless it, the guy who made all these, this was his lifetime work as well. So if I can bring it to life and use it, I think that's a brilliant thing. It's kind of hitting me now how much stuff is actually here, and we are nowhere near through it. So that's the big boxes, but this is box 6, and I've got another load of boxes this size as well to go through. And this one looks like it contains German ships, and we've got Bismarck, Tirpitz, Scharnhorst, and Eisenhower, a couple of heavy cruisers, a pocket battleship, and then in the far corner there is that looks like the French battleship. Richelieu, was it? And yeah, so more. Box 7, another mixed box. I'll just tip that towards the camera. We've got 4 carriers in there. I'll need to get my I Spy book of planes out with that. They've all got roundels on, so I'm guessing the Brits. And then there are 3, 4 destroyers in there. Looks like Dreadnought. That's an American ship, and then a couple of British battleships in there as well, and another destroyer stuck in the corner. So box 8. Now these look bigger. These 1350, 1600. I'm not sure on the scale. I'll have to do some research on these. These are full hull ships, and the stuff that I've been doing obviously has been waterline. So not quite sure what I'm going to do with these as yet, but I can see in there's a pocket battleship, Hood, Nelson Stroke Rodney, KGV, and Bismarck. I'm guessing that's a North Atlantic battle set, and then in the other side there's a couple of destroyers, and that looks like a relatively modern ship on the far left. I'm sure some will automatically spot these, but I'm struggling. Box 9. Again, these are a bigger scale, and these have been done as display models. As you can see, they are. There we go. They are on stands. I'm guessing these are 1/600 scale Airfix kits. Those three are, and then a bigger scale at the back. They look like 15mm tanks, and HMS Snowbury, the Flowercrest Corvette in the middle, which is more of a display piece, but you never know. So how I'm going to fit these into my gaming, I've got no idea, especially this sort of scale stuff. This isn't something that I currently do, and I haven't got plans to do, but it was collected as a job lot, and I'm certainly going to respect it and try and use it or pass it on to somebody who will use it. Box 10, other than this one here, which is on a stand and is of a larger scale, this is probably the first box that I'm going to get my teeth into, and because of that, we'll give it a little bit of a quick look around. And you can see in here we've got a lot of destroyers, we've got a tanker, we've got some of the Liberty ships that I've already built, we've got lots of smaller ships that are going to fit into a convoy. And one of the ideas for a display stroke participation game in the future with these ships is a convoy. So this is probably going to be the first box that I actually do a lot of work on and get the ships to life. Box 11, more Americans, 3 heavy cruisers there, another heavy cruisers, Brooklyn I think, and then another battleship. I think I've probably got all the battleships in this lot here, and then another 3 aircraft carriers. So yes, have even I bitten too much off? More than I can chew. There we go. That's the thing I was looking for. No, definitely not. Box 12, no particular order. These are a much larger scale display pieces. We've got a Liberty ship at the end, and then the rest seem to be Japanese destroyers. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. There's a Fletcher class in there as well. So, yeah, these are going to go on the back burner, but I'm glad that I rescued them. You know those American battleships that I didn't have? They're in here. I can see one armoured cruiser, one heavy cruiser, and the rest are American battleships. 1/700 scale, so yeah, could be doing something. Oh, could be doing something with the Pacific. You never know. And then, would you believe, finally, box 14. Again, these are larger scale display models, which I may or may not do something with in the future, but are going to be put away and stored for the moment while I work on the 1700 stuff that's in here. So yeah, trip to Dumfries, well worth it. I donated a few quid to the widow, but otherwise they were free, and saved from the fate of going into a skip somewhere, and hopefully over the coming years, certainly this is a retirement project, a lot of this will be a retirement project, they're going to come back to life, and hopefully you'll get to see them or play with them on a Wargames table near you very soon. Just finished with this. There you go, that's all of them. I've got 2 very sulky dogs next door because their beds have been taken over, but that is what I picked up yesterday, and is now going to be worked on for my naval games. So from those 14 boxes, I have picked out a number of ships, and this is a Japanese seaplane tender, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the planes off the back and just turn it into an ordinary merchant ship, and then I've got a number of number 2 Liberty ships, so they will very quickly be recruited into my convoy. Another Japanese convoy style ship that I'm just going to use as a convoy ship. I might do a slight conversion on that. And then there are 2 tankers. Again, the Japanese, but in this scale, I've not been able to find any other tankers that don't cost like 80 or 90 quid a pop. And when you're looking at getting 30 or 40 ships in a convoy, then it's just not economical. So if I have a look at one of the Liberty ships a little bit closer, not in my style, they're well built, and I just need to add a little bit of sorry about that, went out of focus, a little bit of weathering, a little bit of washes here and there, and it will fit absolutely perfectly into my collection. And I will add a sea base as I would do normally, and I'll just take Shaky Cam for a ride as well. So I've got those 6 ships there to add to the convoy, and then of all those big boxes, I've taken this group here of destroyers and a couple of submarines as well. So that's going to be the immediate work from all those boxes that I just picked up, and that's going to take me comfortably to the end of the year before I start on any of that other lot. But there you go. What else would you expect from Yorkshire Gamer but a mad purchase? Just the one game to cover this month, and I went along to the Joy of Six convention in Sheffield, organised by Pete Berry from Bacchus Miniatures. And yes, this is 6mm, but it's a big 6mm. It is a American Civil War Battle of Champion Hill, 1863. And as you saw earlier on, I was rebasing. Don't want to use that word, it's a bit naughty. I was reconfiguring the bases on my American Civil War collection for this very game. And we had a lovely day. It's a fantastic, friendly show, all based around 6mm and smaller scales, and it was great to be part of it and support Pete's excellent show at Sheffield Hallam University. Nice food, reasonable prices as well, which was very good, and a great day out. Time for scores on the doors again, as we always do. Very quick look at followers from Yorkshire Gamer, and an opportunity for me to say thank you to you guys and lasses out there who watch and listen every month. It's great to have you on board, and very slow everywhere. 18 on Facebook, over 3,000. Twitter recovering up 15, Insta just the up 1, I haven't done much on there this month. YouTube's up another 50, which is great to see. Podcast up 5, as it always is. It's probably the same 5 people. Facebook group up 179. Dying end of the World Cup, which we'll talk about in a minute. And podcast downloads, another 4,208 this month. Up 9 on Blue Sky, which, as I said last month, is kind of dying down in terms of new activity, but there's lots of really nice people on there, as I said before. So let's flip over and have a look at all the other stuff that's been going on in Yorkshire Gamer this month. One podcast out this month, which was the delayed questions section from the Brews in the Binyard, which was episode 74. And we got through a load of questions. We had a bit of chat at the start about the the War Games magazine video that I did, which caused a bit of discussion in various circles, but I think it was quite a fair one. So we covered that as well as all your questions. So well worth a listen, out on YouTube as well now. The World Cup has finished, and the final was between Cheats and overly competitive Wargamers, and it was quite a big and easy win for Cheats. Was basically one against the other, and everyone picked Cheats. So there you go. That's the end of that particular World Cup of Pet Hates. It's unlikely to come back. We're back to the Wargaming historical rules next year. Then historical miniatures the year after, and then I've got one up my sleeve for the floating year, if you like, before we return to rules and manufacturers. So if it comes back, it'll be in about 12 years. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to leave you with this, as I've got no finished units to show you at the end this month, and this is Charlie Wesencraft's Practical Wargaming. It's the new version. I haven't. God knows where my original version is. It's somewhere in the house. But if you don't know, Charlie sadly passed away earlier in the year, aged 97. Bless him. And he just bought, would you believe, the Hail Caesar rules to see and try them out at 97, which I think is a wonderful story. If you don't know Charlie, he was one of the kind of original wargamers with Don Featherstone, Peter Gilder, Charles Grant, Terry Wise, all those fantastic people. And this was his book, written in 1974, which is one of the seminal original volumes for wargaming. And with him passing away, I have done a tribute podcast to Charlie. Got some guests on who knew him, had met him, and had been influenced by him to talk about the legacy that he's left. And I hope you tune into that. It's going to be a great show. The next podcast, it should be out at the end of the week or the start of next week. And let's pay tribute to one of the hobby greats. And thank you, Charlie, for everything you did, mate.